Hi gang, welcome to the Unraised Latina Ever. Today has been a very trying day for me. I'm just in one of my moods, and one of the things that gets me in my moods is when people make stupid comments on my feeds and I'm not even friends with them. I didn't invite you into my casa, okay? If I didn't invite you into my casa and you just come on there and you take a big shit in my casa, that really offends the Unraised Latina. So anyway, some liberal bitch comes on there on my feed to make a comment that the media killed Harry Windsor's mother, Lady Diana. And I said, hello, let me recount history for you. She was in a car wreck, excuse me. That's not true. And maybe she was using a metaphor, but I was an activist and I was in a car wreck and the media didn't cause that. Some stupid idiot driver who wasn't looking where they were going ran into me going 75 miles an hour. Oh yes, I would love to blame the media. You know, whatever. You know, the hate that comes about from people isn't coming from the press. It's coming from the ideology of what people think. And people are behind the power of free speech. And so you have people from both sides. I get really irked when people make comments about Latinos because a lot of times they're misinformed. For example, many of us were born in this freaking country. And many of us came here because it was a better place to come. And we came here not so we could get the free shit. We came here so that we could work hard, so that we would have something someday and that our kids would have opportunities, not so that we could give more shit to other people coming here and expecting things for free. The whole situation behind the Mexicans coming across the border was something called the Bolero program. It was so the farmers could have helpers on their farms because people from Mexico were willing to do the work. Not only willing to do the work, but do the work for less. And the whole idea of these people coming here was so that they could work and send money back home to their families and come and go as they please. We'd have our workers. And this was during wartime periods too, where people were off to war and we needed that assistance. Now they're procreating up a storm, and instead of doing that kind of work, they go to school, they get educated, and they take over the jobs that, you know, other people would be doing. Okay, so the idea of them doing the work for less is really a bunch of bullshit. Okay, so liberals are trying to make minorities their pets. You know, and they're very expensive pets because you think about Social Security, something that you and I all paid into, and we just see it diminishing right before our very eyes. And George Bush had this idea of taking some of our money and protecting it and putting it into private accounts. And that was a very good idea, George. I understand where you were coming from. At the time I didn't, because I'm thinking we're all paying Social Security. Why aren't we going to see it? Well, the reason why we're not going to see it is because so many people are getting paid to come into the country illegally. And they're getting paid all these free health care to have kids, you know, freely. And nothing's free. You know, I had my last kid for free on the state of Oregon. And if I knew that the state of Oregon was going to pick up the tab for my free kids, I would have started sooner, and I probably would have made a business out of it like a lot of these illegal immigrants do. Hey, you know what? If you're going to pay somebody and give them extra food and they're going to like tax right off and they don't have to work, they can stay at home and raise their family, of course they're going to do that, you stupid pendejos. But you know what? People are so ignorant. They really, really are. Okay, they bash the illegal immigrants from coming here, okay? Okay, but they like to go to the store, they like to get their fruit and their produce and all that other stuff that comes with it. They like to hire illegal immigrants to come to do yard work or maintenance or whatever because it's cheaper. All the people that are the homeowners use illegal immigrants, and of course the roofers that did our roofs were illegal immigrants. But you know what was even more telling? I was sitting at a Republican event, and I said to somebody, I said, so where else do we use illegal immigrants? And one lady offered that, you know, she hired a maid, and the maid happened to be an illegal alien. And so I said, oh, interesting, because, you know, I grew up in a place like Coronado, and every house came with a maid, and yes, there was lots of illegal immigrants in that area. not just Republicans did this, but Democrats and Republican elites. And that is a problem that a lot of people aren't looking at, because, you know, we see these two ideologies and we think they oppose each other and they oppose the people. No, these people come together behind the scenes in a big kumbaya, okay? And this kumbaya doesn't include you or me. We're not really educating people here. We're pinning people against each other so that these fucking people can have their cake and eat it too. And while they're writing off their tax expenses and they're writing off their shit, they're sitting here, you know, wanting the illegals to come, and guess whose backs it's coming off of? It's yours and mine. So we're paying for this expense. It's not cheap. It's not free. It's not nice, because you know what? Now we look at the scholarship programs for these very elite schools. A lot of people have a lot of money. They can donate to get their kids into the elite schools, but maybe people on the lower end can't, okay? So they do minority endowments, okay? Do you know what a minority endowment is, people? Because you know what? You need to know this. A certain percentage of kids going to these Ivy League schools has to be of a minority heritage. That means that if you're white and you were born in this country, and maybe your kid worked really, really hard. Maybe your kid was an athlete. Maybe you felt like your kid deserved to go to the school, okay? Maybe somebody that maybe didn't work as hard, or maybe there's somebody that just because he had brown skin, maybe somebody of Puerto Rican heritage, like somebody I know very well, would get that free endowment to play, you know, sports or go to that school for nothing because her mother was from Puerto Rico. Maybe in this situation that could happen. Oh, this one lady's like, oh, that's horrible. That's just, you know, disgusting. He didn't deserve that. Oh, wait a minute. You want these people to come into the country to pick the fruit, to work for less. You want them to slave away in the hot sun. No retirement, no benefits, no citizenship, but at the same time, when we allow and encourage them to go to school here in this country, not just K through 12, but even at the college level, you know, having a certain percentage, you know, endowed so they would have opportunity. Oh, we can't have that. Excuse me? The problem we have here, you guys, and this is what I see everywhere, that either the Fox News doesn't put out there or the CNN doesn't put out there. Nobody really puts this shit out there because, oh, it's racist. Well, you know what? My mom came to this country and she didn't come here to sit and get free handouts, okay? She came here because, you know, Puerto Rico was a shithole, okay? Like most countries, it's a shithole, and it's very hard to make a living. So they come here to work in the factories. They come here to do the work for less, okay? So when they're done doing the work for less, they have to retire on, what are they gonna retire on, okay? So now we're upping the age of Social Security. We upped it to, what, 66? Most people, you know, if they were under the Bush administration and they were kind of, a, you know, in that middle age, you know, baby boomer like age range, we're gonna have to work until we're fucking 80 to pay for this shit, okay? Because you know what? Even if we retired and got the Social Security, we're not gonna make enough where we can where it even matters, because the cost of living and the cost of everything is so fucking high. We couldn't even possibly begin to retire, okay? But you're gonna give a bunch of like people that are fleeing to this country, and millions of them coming here, because the country's a shithole. I mean, that could be all over the country. I mean, pick a fucking country. We got China, and you know what? We banned the Muslims from coming here. We banned the Mexicans from coming here when they had their fucking bird flu. Now the Chinese are coming here with this virus, and nobody's banning them. But anyway, they got this some sort of weird virus that's going around from animals or whatever, and nobody has a fancy name for this, you know. Nobody is banning them from fucking coming here. But oh, not to mention, you know, people are dying from this. It was a big fucking deal when the Mexican migrant workers had this bird flu thing or whatever. Everybody had to get the shots. It was like they really like kept these people from coming. And it was a big deal, okay? The Muslims, you know, they had a few fucking problems with them, and it's like we have a no-fly Muslim ban on all these fucking countries. Countries that are not even non-Muslim countries can't even, like, fly out, you know, into the United States. But nobody says a fucking thing about China. I mean, more people are dying of this weird virus that's going on. Oh, well, you know, wear a breathing mask or whatever. Don't breathe the air. You know, if somebody's coughing, like, come on. Seriously, don't let these fucking people into our country. If they have some issues and they've been sick for any diseases, you know, don't let them come through, okay? What's the deal? Issue is that I'm so sick and tired of our government cherry picking who can come here and who can't. If everybody got the free benefits and the freedoms that the illegal immigrants got, and I mean, you know, nobody for years said anything for 50 years. You know how many illegal immigrants that we probably had from Mexico over the past, you know, 20-something years, probably 50 million and growing, and with their families. And you know what? We make full accommodations for these people. Everything is printed in Spanish. They get their health care from 0 to 18. On top of that, you know, the minority endowments. And oh yes, you know, we have to speak in Spanish in all these agencies. They didn't have to learn freaking English for that or assimilate. And I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. But you know, the Democratic Party is picking up this base, and the reason why they are is because it's like, we are the party of acceptance. You know what? They're the party of socialism. They're the reason why these people from other countries that collapsed have to come here, and nobody is explaining jack shit to this generation of kids that thinks anything should go. They don't even know what gender they are, let alone, you know, anything about, you know, politics or policy. So it is unbelievable. But we're going to sit there and argue over a fake impeachment and let this go on forever, right? I mean, how many more times are they going to impeach Trump before this is all over with? I'm sure it's going to be many, many more times. They're going to impeach him from using straws that we banned, or they're going to impeach him for, you know, just whatever. I mean, I'm sure he's going to do a lot of impeachable things, you know, because he's Trump and that's just the way he is. But you know what? Nancy Pelosi, somebody needs to impeach that one. That's what they need to do. And with that said, you know, I've gotten my rant out of the way. I had to air some things off my chest today because I'm so freaking tired of listening to impeachment. I just want to scream. You guys, have a great evening. God bless, and we'll talk later about this.